All right, we start over in Washington, D.C. now with the continued purge of wasteful government spending with Elon Musk's Department of Doge. The latest piñata of Elon Musk has been the firing of over 800 staff members from the country's weather agency called the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which is part of the Department of Commerce, created by Nixon back in 1970. Now, it's important to know that this organization has a $6.9 billion budget with a little bit more than 12,000 employees. $6.9 billion, which means it has more money than the entire state of Arkansas, Delaware, Idaho, New Hampshire, South Dakota, and Vermont. More money than all of those states' budgets who operate some very important social institutions on the state level that include prisons, road services, construction, state universities, public schools, and emergency services, all while having less money than the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has, who operates solely to report the weather. Now, it's no simple task reporting the weather. I'm not downplaying the immense science and data that's needed to do so, but if entire states operate and maintain more important social infrastructures with less money, then I'm pretty sure this weather agency that most Americans had no idea even existed prior to their budget being cut this week can still make it happen. It's very rich seeing senators and people saying that the government making budget cuts is illegal when public schools and police departments have year after year experienced budget cuts by the government, and there's nothing but silence there and sometimes even encouragement, which makes me wonder why a weather service is deemed more valuable than the public school system or police departments are. Now, I am pro-weather. I like to know if it's gonna rain outside or if I need to crank my AC overnight so I'm not roasting like a ginger on a day one vacation in Cancun. Love my gingers, by the way, but the point of this is getting rid of wasteful spending. And we're acting like people are gonna start dying because 880 workers from the weather service were laid off. Meanwhile, we forget that a city like Seattle cut its police budget in 2020 by $69 million, as well as Austin, Texas, shedding its police budget by 30%, which indeed did lead to deep suffrage of its own citizens. The frowners of these recent government cuts seem to only be upset at who is doing it rather than what is actually being cut. Now, the full episode of The Bullock is out every Monday through Friday at 5 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcasts, discussing domestic and international world news stories that you won't find anywhere else, and I will see you then.